goes. Oh!
Damn! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel today. Now, the Combine wrapped up just a few days ago, and as per usual with every single Combine, there are a lot of players that dramatically improved their draft stock with their excellent performance. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 10 guys that dramatically improved their draft stock by killing the NFL Combine. Now, before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys have been enjoying the videos. You know, this is going to be a busy week. There's going to be like at least 4 or 5 videos this week. So I hope you guys have been enjoying. I've been trying really hard to get you guys good, consistent videos. But starting off my list, obviously Xavier Worthy, very notable for breaking the 40-yard dash record. Now, anybody who's watched even a game of Xavier Worthy probably isn't too surprised that he ran very, very well. Now, breaking the record is obviously a different tier, but this guy's speed is evident, you know, ever since he was a true freshman at Texas. He is a little light at 165, but I think the benefit for him is that receivers in the past few years have proven that you can still be really light and have like a lean frame and still be really good. Devontae Smith, Tank Dell, those guys are just 2 recent examples of receivers that have been very productive, that have been, you know, much leaner and smaller than the prototypical receiver. And while obviously 4.21 is a combined record, I don't expect him to be like John Ross, a guy who was, you know, not a very good receiver but ran super fast and went top 10. Xavier Worthy is a much better prospect than John Ross was, in my opinion. And I think that this kind of speed is just so elite. It's so rare. It's so, like, uncoachable that this will drastically improve where he's going because he's now on the fucking map from everybody, right? So I think that this was an excellent performance from Xavier Worthy. Next, let's talk about his teammate. Fellow Texas receiver A.D. Mitchell ran a blistering 4.35, which is really good because he's a bigger receiver. He also had a 39.5-inch vertical and an 11 broad jump. That is crazy. His RAS score, raw athleticism score, is 9.97. So this guy is one of the most athletic receivers that we have seen in a long time. He tested very well at the Combine, and I think teams are starting to take note that his tape at Texas was very, very good last year. You know, obviously he was competing for targets with Xavier Worthy, but he is a guy that I think could be an absolute steal in this draft. Next, let's keep it with the theme of receivers, and let's talk about Xavier Legette. Something about the name Xavier just really popped off at this Combine. But he ran a 4.39 40-yard dash. He's a big guy, right? He's probably about 6'2", 6'3", 220 pounds, 40-inch vert, which is 6th among the receivers, which is awesome. And I think the big thing with Xavier Legette, you had some guys talking and chirping that, you know, maybe he's DK Metcalf, and, you know, you see the athleticism and you see the size and everything like that. And then you watch him do at the Combine and you go, oh my God, this guy maybe is DK Metcalf because he's such a great athlete at such a big frame. Was very productive last year at South Carolina. I think he had over 1,200 yards, 1,250 if I'm not mistaken. The guy was an absolute beast. His Combine performance, I think, shot him up a lot of draft boards. Let's talk about another guy who is drastically shooting up draft boards. That is J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback from Michigan. Now, listen, I understand that there are a lot of hot takes and opinions about J.J. McCarthy, but I cannot deny that he had a great Combine. It was reported by many, many people that he interviewed extremely well. His arm did look pretty live. You know, he missed some throws, definitely, but I try to give guys the benefit of the doubt at the Combine because they're not used to throwing to these receivers, and timing and tempo is always different with different receivers. He also demonstrated really good footwork, and I think a benefit for him is that the top 3 guys didn't really do a whole lot. Caleb, Drake, and Jaden didn't really compete at the Combine too much, so he was kind of the best quarterback of the guys that competed. I thought that it was really good for him, and it made his draft stock better than it's been in the past. Let's touch on one other quarterback that had a good Combine, and that is Michael Pennock Jr. First of all, Michael Pennock Jr., top 10 hand size in NFL history. I mean, his hands are 10.5 inches long. That is insane. That is, you know, that's probably why he's able to grip it and rip it like he does, truthfully. The big thing, though, for me is that his medicals all came back well. That's the big red flag with Michael Pennock, is that he's had, you know, 4 season-ending injuries, especially when he was at Indiana. You know, got banged up in the national championship game as well, but he came back with a clean bill of health, which was awesome. He has an 81-inch wingspan, which is just ridiculous. And he did demonstrate his great arm. He was throwing some moon balls at the Combine, so good job to Michael Pennock. Next, let's talk about a running back. Running back from Louisville, Isaac Guriendo, 4.33 40-yard dash, first amongst running backs. He also had a really good vertical with 41.5 inches, which was fifth, and he had a great broad jump at 10.9, which was fourth. This guy really popped at the combine. This is a guy who probably wasn't getting a lot of early round hype, unfortunately, but with his excellent combine scores, I think athleticism is something that is really important for running backs. He put himself on the map for a lot of NFL teams, and I would not be surprised if he is one of the top 3 running backs taken in this draft. Another guy that I think had a really good combine and dropped a lot of jaws was Amaris Mims, the tackle out of Georgia. First of all, this guy is a fucking unit, weighed in at 340 pounds, standing at 6'8" tall. That is phenomenal. 36 and an eighth inch arms, massive, right? Ran 5.7 at the 40-yard dash, which for a man his size is pretty damn good, I will not lie. And then he broad jumped 9.3. He proved that he is a physical freak athlete. And again, a lot of times when you're looking for tackles, you're looking for those long arms. You're looking for guys that can move a little bit. And he proved that he can at the combine. He had an excellent performance. The next guy on my list of people who really aced the combine is going to be Nate Wiggins, corner out of Clemson. Now, this guy is a physical freak. Ran a 4.28 40-yard dash, broad jumped 10.7, and has 30-inch arms. Again, when you're looking at corners, you're really looking for guys who have long arms. He has them. He ran fast. He showed that he was a really good athlete. I would not be surprised if Nate Wiggins is the top corner taken in this year's draft by the Raiders because he's such a physical freak athlete. But he put himself in a really, really good spot heading into the draft. My number 9 guy is going to be Theo Johnson, tight end from Penn State. He was second in the following categories among tight end: 39.5-inch vertical, 10.5-inch broad, and 4.57 40-yard dash. Again, when you're competing against guys like Brock Bowers, who was clearly the top tight end in this draft, you're kind of competing for the second spot, and he clean swept second place in all of those categories, which I thought was really, really big. I think Ja'Tavion Sanders is pretty clearly the tight end 2 in this class. I'd say it's Brock Bowers gap, Ja'Tavion Sanders gap, but he could be in contention for tight end 3, which obviously could get him picked, anywhere in the late second, maybe middle of the third. So I thought he put together a really good combine as well. And then finally, another guy that I thought really, really killed the combine, Dallas Turner. Ran a 4.46 40-yard dash, which is just ridiculous for an edge rusher. Vertical jumped 40.5 and had a 10.7 broad jump, just proving that he is just another Alabama freak pass rusher. And again, those super hyper athletic edge rushers are always dangerous and always scary. But those are 10 guys that I thought killed the NFL Combine. What did you guys think? Did I miss anybody? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.